Hi guys, welcome to the first TBR of the new year, January TBR. This TBR is slightly smaller than like the average TBR. I've only picked out 8 books because I'm on placement this month and next month actually, so I'm likely not going to be able to read as much as I would usually, but nevertheless I still want to set some reading goals because my goal is to read 150 books this year, but I could end up going over but the first book that I've picked up, I'm literally just going to go through these like in whatever order they're in. There is no order to how I'm picking them up. Anyway, the first one is The Thief on the Winged Horse. This is a really interesting story because basically it's about a family and they make dolls, and then when you touch the doll it gives you an emotion. Oh god, I can't say. Rude. And basically only the men can make these dolls, and there is a woman, Persephone Kendrick, and she wants to know, and then there's a random guy. So when a handsome stranger arrives claiming doll making talent and blood ties to the family, she sees a chance to grasp all she desires. This is the second book. It's actually a really interesting concept. It's about 2 siblings, Kerry and Noah, and they were born together, but something happened and they were separated, and Kerry goes on and she becomes a single mom. She like cleans houses, very much working class. This is set in London as well, so lower working class, possibly below the poverty line kind of thing. And then Noah, which is her brother, is a barrister. Says he has a beautiful wife, a daughter, and a home in fashionable Primrose Hill. So he's very successful. And I feel like just that whole concept is quite interesting. Like the way that 2 people can live completely different lives, but then like their origin of life, I guess, being the exact same place and like the same person, and just kind of thinking like how your life could have differed if you would have been born into a different situation. And then it goes on, when Kerry contacts Noah, she sets in motion the chain of events that will change both of their lives forever. Just the whole concept of the book just sounds so interesting, and I'm really excited to read it. I saw this on TikTok, and it's basically that the girl is Julie and the boy is Sam. And Sam dies basically, and then Julie, she calls his phone and he picks up and she can call him and talk to him despite him still being dead. But it obviously deals with a lot of grief, and I know she gets quite attached to being able to talk to him, and he like makes her fall in love all over again. Yeah, it kind of deals with like letting go of someone that you love so much. Like even though you have this ability to talk to them, knowing that it's like you have to let go of them eventually and stuff like that. But it truly is like an interesting way to view grief. The next one is One of Us is Lying. This again, I feel like every person and their mum has read this book. It's basically about a lot of kids that are in detention and one of them gets killed and they are all suspects, and it goes through like the investigation of like who is the murderer. But yeah, I feel like everyone and their mum, auntie and best friend's dog has read that book. I'm going into all of these with like no expectations though, because they're all really popular books and I don't want to ruin them for myself. The Bookkeeper of Elpo is basically, it's about Nuri and Afra, and they're from Syria and they live in the city of Elpo until the unthinkable happens and they're forced to flee. And then they go on like a, what do you call that? Migration. They migrate. A journey through Turkey, Greece, and towards an uncertain future in Britain. But then basically Afra, the wife, she loses her sight and she's an artist, so they must confront not only the pain of their own unspeakable loss, but dangers that would overwhelm even the bravest of souls. I can't wait to read all these books. Oh my god, this one. This book, again, everyone on the freaking planet has read this book, and I bought it the beginning of when it was starting to get hype. And I was like, oh my god, well, starting to re-get hype. I feel like it's always had quite a lot of hype, but then it like massively boomed and everyone bought it and it went crazy. But I bought it like as that was beginning to happen, and then I just saw video after video after video after video. Everyone's like, this book changed my life. this book changed your life, but I'm so scared that I'm going to read it and it's going to disappoint me. Like, you've set the bar too high. It's life-changing? Life-changing. I feel like, oh my god, what if I literally read like the first, what's the page? 12 pages. And I'm so terrified that it's going to be terrible. Everyone read this as well. Well, not everyone. It's like less popular than a few of those, but it's still quite a popular book. Medita from Maddie Tales, she read this back in autumn as well. And I'm pretty sure she liked it. And to be honest, if Medita says it's good, I follow. I am a sheep. So I got it and I'm going to read it. Then the last one that I picked out is Everything I Never Told You. I've had this for over a year, like a year and a half. I finally saw someone else talk about this book and I don't know why it made me like mad. I was like, I've never seen anyone talk about it. And then so this TikTok was like, oh my god, this book is so great. And then everyone started talking about it and I was like, I've had this book for like a year and a half. Why has it not been great for the past year and a half? Why have I just let it sit on my bookshelf, dying, collecting dust for the past year and a half when it's great? But it's about a Chinese American woman called Lydia. Oh, it's set in the 1970s. Yeah, Lydia. Basically, her parents want her to do everything that they never did. But then she turns up dead. She's found dead in a lake. They are the 8 books that I want to read this January. Let me know what books you're reading this January. I'm just kind of reading everything that I put off reading and that like I just have on my shelf. Also, just look at how I've destroyed this.